back. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. If you are a new subscriber, I'm Zoe, and this is Divinity Within Me, where we take time to get in touch with the divine. Okay, I have a new something that it's on that's new, so hopefully this works. Okay, you guys, there's so much. How is everybody hanging? How is everybody doing with all this crazy eclipse energy? Wow, so much, right? Um, so much. So, you guys, something that has been a ongoing theme, right? As we're having all these energies from like just doubts and fears, like old programming and past things like this, there's something that just keeps coming up, not just for me, but for other people I'm speaking with and their experiences, and that's there is a lot of distraction or doubt that is going to occur. That was at 111. But we're starting this new cycle, right? Like not rooted or based in that way of thinking anymore, right? And so that's what's important is like we're keeping our vision, focused in the state of manifestation during this eclipse. It's about having a clear vision. So thank you, universe, source, creator, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, archon angels, spirit guides, oversouls, beautiful, loving, helpful aliens, Galactic Federation, those working of the divine, highest love and light frequencies. We offer this space to bring us correct and honest and divine messages of only the highest vibrational frequency with the highest timeline possible, love and light for the collective. So it is. So now I've been doing my best to make videos shorter, but then I realize that sometimes like you guys want to actually understand, right? What are the rituals? What are the ways now? What's really important before we're communicating or tapping in or getting downloads, that we're having a sense of protection, a sense of protection and clarity, right? So that's why I'm asking for specific guides, specific protection, specific clarity to come, right? To enter the space to bring us the proper clarity, right? Because if we just open ourselves up to like, give us some messages, then like we could be getting downloads from anywhere. We don't want that. We want focused manifestation. Look at that at 333. So, with intent, right? Intention has a lot to do with everything. Now, you can't just say, I did everything with good intention, because there is action and there is stillness that are also required in the manifestation process. So something that I realize is really important in manifestation process is actually it's not our job to figure out all of the logistics, right? All of the minute details of how it's going to happen, right? So when I was working on manifesting performing arts and events center and spaces and boats and all kinds of different things, the same key factor was always at play, which was have a clear vision of the ultimate like dream or outcome, right? This is number one, is like understanding what that vision looks like and being like, yes, I feel that, right? Like I see myself on the boat. I see myself on this land or with this person or traveling here or doing this, right? And look at that bird flying by. And so take this thought or this feeling of the excitement which it brings you, right? Like, this satiation, maybe, right? That it brings you when you're in tune with it. And from there, that that dream or idea is really what carries out the manifestation. Now, of course, we have to be, um, sometimes it's right place or right time, but we have to be open to receiving, number one, right? Receptive. So when we ask for something, like, we have to understand, okay, like, there's already an infinite amount of resources and abundance and potential available, right? That the universe has readily available for us. So we don't need to worry about how much it costs, right? We're changing that. We're changing that fear mentality. We're changing the old mentality of what are all of the limitations, or what are all of the blocks, right? Normal human consciousness is like, what are the blocks that my brain or my being, right? My trauma is producing or has been producing up until this point to cause a ongoing block or belief that is preventing, right, me from feeling the ability to connect or receive this abundance. So first thing is, yes, we have this idea, right? Like, oh yeah, like my first idea was a much larger ship where more of us could sail around and do all of these things, right? But it was also like, I want to learn, like, I be the captain and all of these things. So before that thing came into play, which still in the works, right? Before it came into play, the first thing that came up was actually the download of a smaller boat, a specific size, right? And this type of boat, and this, and and so then when it became clearer what a step, right, an action, or more realistic, like baby step or action towards it, it was much easier to manifest that, right? And I did. The exact boat and the exact harbor and the exact area, the exact length and make and model, everything, right? Like, but because I was very specific of, once I had a little bit more information, I was very specific of how that looked and felt. So the more specification we can give, like when I was creating the last home space, we wrote a whole page of all of these specifications, right? It needed to be like 2 or 3 stories tall. It needed to have this. It needed to have that. We needed to be able to have, it's like all these specifications, right? The more general we can be about things, the more we can detach from things. But the more clear or direct we can be about our manifestation, not just like, oh, I want land. Like, where is this land, right? Where do you picture it? Or what do you picture to do on it, right? Is it by water? Like, is it in America? Is it in Asia? Is it at where, right? Like, tune into that, meditate on that before you're just manifesting, because be careful what you wish for. You never know what you're going to get, where you're going to get it, how it's going to go down, unless you've filled out the specification. I like to look at it as like, if you go to the diner, right? I just imagine like this, like I just imagine like John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, like going to the diner and all this shit's going on, right? And it's like, he has to be very specific about what he wants, right? So you're going to see everybody else get their food or their coffee or their wallet, right? And whatever. But if they're not specific, right? If they don't place the order, if they don't ask for the thing that they want or need, then how is it going to get filled? Does that make sense? So now it can be complex when we're manifesting things that are multiple people, places, other things like this, right? It can get a little bit complex, but it doesn't matter. What's most important is that we're hyper focused on placing that order, right? And what is the order? What is the request, right? Look like, right? Like, if you're going to call in to request a song or something like that, you know that you probably know the name. I hope you know the name of the song and the band and who you're dedicating the request to, right? Generally speaking. So it's like the same thing. If we don't place the order, then the order can't get filled. The universe is waiting for us to place the order and then meet the frequency. So after we have placed the manifestation, we said, yeah, this is how it is. This is how it feels. We sit in that space of how it feels, really like, juicy, feels good, right? And so after that, we release it, right? So we release the expectation of who, how, which way, what, it's like, ooh, I want, look at that, 11:11, wishing, right? It's like, ooh, I want, someone to show up with a cheesecake or flowers or, something like this, right? I want whatever, right? But like, can you feel the ability of that actually being a reality, right? Okay. Now, how it manifests is not up to us, right? Because then we're using the human ego, the consciousness, right? We're taking this thought from subconscious and we're now using the conscious mind to attempt to control the outcome of how and when and whatever it's received. So you're not really surrendering, you're not having faith, right? Now, there is certain things that need, or whatever, let's not say need, bad spell, but that do have to arrive in certain ways or certain forms or whatever, right? There is certain things, okay? There is certain circumstances, but generally speaking, look at moving forward. Generally speaking, it's not how it is. So we just have to say, okay, right? So maybe somebody accidentally sends it to your house. Maybe you go somewhere else and somebody sends it to you, the drink or the cheesecake after dinner or whatever. You don't know, right? You don't know exactly how, unless you're very specific, exactly it's going to come, right? Like, oh, I'm open to receiving all the abundance and all the different forms, right? Okay, great. Money will be great, so I can make some of these 3D things go away and not stress about them and continue to create and learn and share and grow with others. But how that comes in, look at that, 1333, how that manifestation comes in may come in an unlikely way, right? Like it could, like someone I wasn't expecting might just be like, you know what? I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing, kid. I see where you're going with this, and boom, here you go. You don't know, right? You don't know. We never know. And the more we try to attempt to know all the details, the more it gets distorted. So, I mean, take it from me. I'm a psychic intuitive. I can see things forward and backwards, right, and sideways, right, like the great glass elevator from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? I feel like it could go, like I can go through parallel realities and dimensions and densities and timelines forward and backwards. So all I'm saying is we have to allow a bit the mystery, right? We have to at some point say, take that leap of faith, right? Know that we're the magician, or we're the empress or the high priestess, right? Know that we know innately, intuitively, like with our soul, with our heart, with our intuition, right? That the move that we're drawn to make, that the thing that we're drawn to do has a purpose or a reason. And we can either acknowledge it and act upon it, or we can choose to disacknowledge it, but it will still come back and keep coming back until the lesson or the contract or whatever has been fulfilled, right? And I think it's interesting because people say, okay, we'll do cord cutting and all. Like, I've attempted to do that. It's not really possible. It can be just for mental and emotional state, but it's not really possible, right? Like, we're intrinsically connected, and this person could come back and it probably is, you've seen them in multiple lifetimes. So be okay with it, acknowledge and be aware of it. So anyways, you guys, shall we pull some cards and see what messages for the collective? Let me close this door really quick. Now, this is also the cozy. There's like so many different ways to wrap it and wear it. Right now I have the extra straps, the extra ends of the bows. I went from wearing it like overalls to basically pulling the straps back over the shoulders and then taking the extra string and tying it here to just kind of create this nice triangular top, something like this. So anyways, boop, boop. I love this thing. I love this thing. And there's so many different, I call it phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 10. So many different phases that it can rock. That's why I love it so much. What is going on my little bralette? I'm like, what seems weird? There we go. So let's do not this one. Protection coming through on that one. I want to do this one. And this is like an Alice in Wonderland deck. Messages for the collective, for the closing of this eclipse energy. So yeah, the most important thing, you guys, is to really just keep in your mind that vision, and don't be attached to the outcome, right? Let go of, it's so hard to explain. Let go of the keep the ultimate outcome, right, in your heart, in your being, but to some extent, just feel it and release how it looks, right? So messages for the collective. This eclipse energy. Manage to be glad, yeah, 43. So again, energy of 7. Create your own happiness regardless of conditions. So you'll notice that there is a lot of things that are attempting to pull us down, to keep us in this old fear state, this mentality of but what do I do? But where is the end game? Where is the money? Where is this, and I'm not saying just blow off everything, but there is a sense of where we surrender especially in the feminine, divine masculine, there is a sense of surrender to allow the proper energy of the masculine to present itself, whether it's through you or somebody else or whatever, right? The right way, 21, learning to create what you desire. So, yeah, it's like creating the love letter to self. I can be the queen, right? Manifesting. So, this is like, why? Okay. It's because normally I tie it every time, but this time I was just saying, how can you change it quick without? So, nonsense, 28, which is a 10. It's time to talk sense. So then we have the queen here. So if you look here, here she's like looking at this. I'm the Queen of Hearts, right? Clearly, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? Now in here, she's this different version, right? She's a different version, like she pulled the wrong card. And so it's like nonsense, right? So it's like, understand that a lot of our fear, what we've been taught, what we've tolerated, what we've believed about ourselves or our ability to become this, right, is actually nonsense, right? It's time to make sense. So it's time to say, actually, what doesn't make sense is following this old way of thinking, this old standard, this old protocol, right? Like that's played out, essentially, yeah? Then we have 32, which was 5, so change. So becoming. Ooh, I like that. Write that down. Belong to your own dream. Create your own life. So yeah, go back into this state. Get out of the state of fear. Go back into this state of wonder. Go back, look at that, 22. Go back into this dream state, right? Lay yourself in the flowers where you can come at peace, right? Whether you're coming like in meditation or nap or whatever, right? Like come back to this state and just belong to your own dream. What is your own dream? Tap in to what your own dream is or looks like or feels like, right? Yeah, and this is all just verifying what I was already telling you guys. And, something that I always loved is, people can say, your dream is crazy, or it's too big, or it's this, or it's that. And in the end of the day, or the beginning, or whatever point in time, in history, and anything, it's like, it's my dream, right? My dream can be as big or as small as I decide, as I want it to be. It's my dream. You cannot take it away from me. That is the one thing, right? Your authenticity, your dream. What is your dream? What is your soul's purpose, your soul's driving force? Do you know? Is it something that you've thought about? Is it something that you asked yourself? Is it something that somebody else has asked you? Better yet, everybody loves to talk about this is my dream and la, but did they stop to listen to yours? I had that happen recently, and wow, I'll never have another dream killer. I guess never say never, but no, for real though, serially. A moment's regret, 16. Nostalgia, idealizing the past, fearing you've made a mistake. So you're going to get a lot of this energy, 7, okay? It's about us really staying focused and not being too distracted on things from the past. Not saying, because what's going to happen is so the energy of this is as we are moving forward, right? As we're evolving, as we're realizing certain things, as we're changing, we're going to start to say, wait, did I do the right thing? Because the comfort zone, the past, the way that I did these things, like the comfort zone of knowing what the outcome is going to be. Literally, it can be like this. This is the energy of what they're giving me. of knowing what the outcome is going to be, and instead being like, I'm idealizing like how I used to do, like, but I felt really comfortable doing those things that way. And it's like, life begins outside your comfort zone, right? And so a lot of the energy, what people are feeling right now is, shit, I made a mistake, right? Maybe I did something rash. Maybe I took that leap of faith or jumped and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And it's saying, 16-7, it's like, know that what your thoughts are become your reality. So the more that you're fearing the decision of trusting your intuition or just owning your shit, right? Like, if I said it, like, bitch, I said what I said. I meant what I said. Like, whether I was in feeling angry or love or emotional or say, it doesn't matter. Like, when people are drunk, like, the truth is like, the truth comes out. And if somebody said this, then there is a large percent of it that is actually truth, their truth, in regards your truth. If you said it, and just be like, yeah, I said it, I did it, that's what it is, what you want. Keeping it real. When keeping it real goes wrong. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, guys, though. 24, use your time well. So make every moment count. So this is also what's important. It is, if we sit here and go, well, but this, and I could have done that, and this and that, like all these things, if we keep playing back scenarios that we don't have any control over because they've already fucking passed. It already happened. It doesn't exist anymore. We can't even, we can't even like touch it, right? It's already, don't go in there, please. She loves to go on the second shelf where Ganesha is, and there's like so many little shells and breakable things. Come out of there, baby. So anyways, the point is, use your time well, right? What are we thinking about? What are we hyper focusing on? What are we giving our time and attention and energy to, right? Energy flows where attention goes. So if we're giving attention to things that make us feel uncomfortable and people that piss us off, like, we might see them or have more to deal with or create more problems for ourselves. If we're, focused on things that bring us more joy, then we might receive more joy. Just a thought. Okay, so you guys, let's get a Keepers of the Light. Let's get a deity here. Hilarion. Hilarious. Divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. Now, look at that green heart chakra. Now, depending on what you're healing or what's going on, new moons are great times. Hey, I told you, see? Why are you going around Ganesha? Come on. Come down. Meows. Come on. You just removing obstacles. See, we out here. We out here breaking open the heart chakra, removing obstacles. We out here talking to the ancestors, white eagle on deck. Ancestor spirit, connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. So for some of us, this will mean we're going to spend more time with people that are our family or healing these family wounds, right? We might be able to actually repair or heal this, right? This is a strong energy going on right now. So yeah, a family wound or pattern can be healed now. So, call upon your ancestors and say, help me to know how to clear, or please allow this to move through me, to be healed. Look at it. She's a little psychic kitty too. Look at, we got Ganesha. You already knew that, huh, smarty? Lord Ganesha, infinite abundance. Look at that. Look. Remove the obstacles for that abundance to come in. Let's go. Okay. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. So, yeah, as we look at that, Ganesha. Boom, boom. As we basically allow and call in these ancestor spirits and allow for this divine healing from this heart center to come in, we all of a sudden have this extra spiritual support increasing. We can ask the ancestors how to actually, say, I'm ready to heal this wound. Where is this wound? What is it? Is there something I can do, or you can guide me or help me along the way to be able to do it? Yeah. Lady Nada, heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance, divine love. Give and receive in balance. Amazing. Any more messages? Gaia. Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth and stay grounded. So make sure you take time. Now, in a lot of my messages, you've seen me talk about taking time to worship and give offerings to feminine. Now, this isn't just feminine in your life. This is also Mother Earth, right? Take time to notice the birds or stare at nature. I love my space because I have a view from every place, right? Except for the kitchen, but I wish. Soon. If I'm lucky, let's go. So anyways, I love to be able to always have a view, to be able to see, to be able to say, oh, look, right? And I have this little special in the mornings, which is really weird because I saw him this afternoon. There's a kingfisher that comes. It's like my little spirit animal bird, and it's like super blue. It's like bright blue, like my mascara. And it's always like, you're on to, no, you got it. Messages for the collective. So yeah, having the time to just say, okay. And for some of you, this means grounding in different ways, right? Earth connected. Like for me, a lot of grounding is, singing, dancing, also like water elements for me is grounding, like bath, river, ocean. These are grounding. So what is your element, right? Figure out your element and go. Like if you're an air element, like breathe, right? Do some breath work, or go somewhere where you can feel the wind. If you're a fire element, go and stare at some fire, light a candle, stare, connect with the flame, right? Grounding can happen in different ways. It's just about connection to the earth. Like, stay grounded in your being. Melchizedek. Higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further your process. So, to me, this just means like, once we hit this level of awareness, now we have to do some more inner work. Every time we feel like we've figured it out, right? Yeah, the divine director. Don't worry, it's being divinely directed. Intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you're being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Beautiful. And we have Kali. Kali Ma. Facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So again, also if you're an air element, fly a kite, look at some birds, right? See the fire in her center here? No, she's not pure evil, right? She's just helping to clear anything that was false or illusionary, and to say, this actually is what it is. And this one keeps coming up on the bottom. So, bottom of the deck energy, I'm going to call this the Shekinah, sacred self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. So, yeah, whatever your gifts are, whatever your soul's purpose or calling is, that's why I'm just like, I feel all these different forms of like, okay, set up the space. I'm making some art. Okay, I need to rest, nervous system. Okay, need to do the cards. Okay, need to do, it's like so many things where it's the energy, and we're getting so much energy upgrades, so much information for our bodies, for our light bodies, right? We're becoming these crystalline beings. We're getting these massive upgrades, downloads. And so, a lot of us do need, that's why cleaner and clearer, right? I'm not messing with anything or spirits, or, I mean, like alcohol, things like this, right? Obviously, I'm hanging with the spirits constantly. So the point is, yeah, they talk to me through lights sometimes. I'm not messing with you. I don't mean it like that. Whoa. I'm sorry, I'm not messing with you. Okay. Grateful, see? Words are spells, see? Even. Did you do that? She's just trying to fuck with me. I don't know, but words are spells, right? So, how we even describe, let this just be a lesson to all of us, right? How we describe things, right? Because she's a very ancient spirit, too, right? She's an ancient law spirit. And it's like how we describe and interact and all of these things actually makes a big difference. I can't believe you broke that. These lights are really hard for me to find, and I like them. They help my eyes the best. They're like these low orange tones. I've actually put other lights like around in my place that are like this. So because there is like, okay, so there is this thing about sound and light and frequencies and different things like this, and it does really it does make a difference, right? It does make a difference of how we feel, how we can start to feel in our stomachs and all these things. It's crazy. So be sensitive. Um, Anyways, yes, I'd like to stay clean and clear. That way, as we're getting the channel, right? Like, I'm like, what? Like, I'm not scared because I know that there's nothing scary, right? I called the prayer and put the protection and said, I'm not open to any of these type of energies coming to play or to hang out or to converse or to give information, right? So we need to make sure, like, I guess that's a good lesson, right? That's what they're telling me to kind of convey to you. Face our fears, right? And our sacred self. Make sure that we're protecting ourselves, right? Make sure that we're really, as we feel all these different scenarios and things and good ending, bad, it's like too much just processing. Like, make sure that we're actually putting out the protection, right? We're saying, I call in my angels, my ancestors, right? These ancestor spirits for protection, for guidance, right? I always call, like, every day, like, I send out the blessing and the prayer, and sometimes multiple times a day. But I always say, thank you so much for your protection, your guidance, the clarity. This is what I ask for clear, divine, loving, high vibrational guidance and clarity. And I thank them for the protection. So, I think that this is really important as we start to see a lot of people and energies and things shifting, I think it's really important that we are invoking, like inviting, asking the angels and the ancestors to come in to offer that to us, so we're not getting any types of distortion or you know, yeah, I'll just say that. That's the best way. Any of distortion, right? It's just preemptively block it out and prevent and prepare ourselves to just receive only the highest vibrational frequency, the divine guidance for the highest, right? The highest timeline. Highest timeline. I mean, make sure the highest timeline where you're included or whatever, I don't know what your jam is, but okay, you guys. So I think it wants me to pull some from here. Separate reading. Okay, we'll do a separate reading, you guys. So we're going to leave this here. So yeah, just make sure that we're holding this vision. We understand that we're getting more downloads, that we're learning more, that there's this integration process. Be gentle, earth out, ground yourself, however that looks to you, and really release this old nonsense, right? It's time for that to end. It's time to release old thought patterns or anything else that you've had based in fear or lack mentality. So let's step, right? Lord Ganesha coming in, infinite abundance. Let's go. As always, infinite blessings, love, and light. If you want to schedule a personal or private read, you can email me at divinitywithinthee@gmail.com. Ciao for meow.